about this isn't adding up. Every day is a new battle, trying to keep our eyes in the
Saddle.
Now they're rounding us up like
Cattle in a truck. What the fuck?
They're high up on that horse, we're down here fighting.
Hello.
They get to the ridge.
Hello.
I can't hear myself talking. I got Chris Hausman in my ears jamming.
You're yelling at me right now. Oh, you know what? It's really not loud in my headphones.
Oh, really?
Is it really loud in your? Oh, I cranked it for Luis the other night.
No, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah. Is that a little better?
We're good. I just still hear the music. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
when we get to start the show.
Well,
Hi, everybody.
Show has started.
Oh, we're there. We're there. Hi, everybody.
We're live.
We're live.
We are live in 3. We're 3D today.
Dose. Trace.
We're the 3 real white guys, and we're all on the freaking screen. Hey, I'm Mike Heaton. Next to me is Jacob Dodds, and around the way is Kellen Gracie.
Over here.
It's good to see you all night. We are the 3 real white guys. We're
We
sitting in
are.
our garage drinking beer and talking politics.
Yes.
And boy, do we have a doozy for you tonight.
we do.
It's
Yes.
yeah, we'll call it a doozy.
A doozy.
We're going to explore quite a few different topics tonight, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, it seems like whatever Trump touches, it turns to shit.
Yep.
We're going to give him a new nickname, so stick around for that one. I'm excited about that one.
Yep.
That's going to be a biggie. We're back at war again with Iran, evidently.
Back again.
Back again.
I wondered why gas went up tonight
Yeah, well, there you
when
go.
I came back into town.
Got to manipulate the
I
markets.
was regretting
Well,
that I
just
didn't
get
get
ready.
gas this morning.
Just get ready. It's only the beginning of the gas going up, Jake.
And our coup d'etat for today is we're going to talk about, is there a potential realignment? Kellen doesn't like that word because he's political
There's
science.
not a realignment, but
and we're
there
going to
is
get
a
into an argument over it. It's gonna
great
be super
issue
fun.
swap. is
So
the
he's
way that
titled the segment "Great Issue
I
Swap,"
have.
even though I recommended we call it "Is There a Realignment?" But Kellen's very into political science. He actually is true to the industry, so I'm going to go with his take on it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit into it.
So let's start with how everything Trump touches turns to shit. I mean, that's really what we're literally just watching. Is he's not Midas, King Midas. He is King Dung. I don't know how else to describe it. Everything he touches turns to shit. And I want to start with U.S. soccer.
U.S. soccer.
Yeah, we got to host this incredible World Cup. It was wonderful. It's still going technically, but most people checked out now that the U.S. team lost, and it was something that Trump had already done the vast majority of the work on. He needed to do to be an ass and really manipulate in a way that wasn't necessary and pretend it was his. But in the end, we did our own fucking thing. Our cities did their own damn thing. They made it an incredible celebration of the world, about culture, about unification around sport, and it was awesome.
Did you hear how that worked out? How that happened?
Tell me.
Well, I don't know well, I say that, and then I don't know the entire story, but apparently he called.
Oh wait, so you're talking about I was talking about the unifying stuff. And
Oh no,
we know how that worked out because people just said "fuck you, Trump." We care, right? And we actually care about other countries around the world, right?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
and as far as that, the only kind of thing I'd like to add to your comment there is that where were all those people? Like, where were all the people, the foreign visitors who were here for the World Cup? Where were they in
Cities.
America?
Cities:
Right.
Kansas City, Dallas, New York, Boston,
L.A.
Yeah.
The shithole cities that are all run
yeah,
by
that.
blue Democrats that
Right.
crime is so bad, and these are all Seattle doesn't exist anymore.
I forgot
It
about-
was
yeah, since
completely wiped off the map.
2021, right? Or when was that?
2020.
2020.
Seattle
yeah.
and Portland both.
Oh yeah, that's
well,
more
They
recent.
burned both of them
gone.
to the ground.
Just
Yeah.
gone, just completely
I think they
gone.
just won a championship or something in women's soccer too. Portland did awesome, but
So
they don't exist. I'm sorry.
So Trump called what's his Gianni Infantino?
FIFA?
someone's- Yeah, I just messed that name up. I'm
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
The head of FIFA, the guy who gave him the Peace Prize.
So did you guys watch the game at all? Did you see the foul that was given a red card to our best player?
I could lie and tell you that I watched the game, but I did not.
Yeah,
I haven't
you're-
watched a single.
you're
minute
Canadian.
Of
You watch
the World
hockey.
Cup at
Yeah.
all.
You watch hockey. We get it. I watched a little. I saw the foul. I saw the replay and the replay and the replay of it. And red card, maybe. I mean, it didn't look like it was done with intention to me. It looked
Yeah.
like it was done, and he clearly was trying to hit him a little bit. But I'm not sure it warranted a red card. But that's debatable. Had they been on the other team, hell yeah, give him a fucking red card. I'd have been all about it because I'd have been pissed that they took out my own player. I saw that as a normal thing. That's welcome
Right.
to sport, right?
You win some, you lose some
Yeah.
in terms of refs and calls and everything.
Yeah, you're going to have a bias.
I'm a St. Louis Blues fan, and in the 2019 Stanley Cup run, it was the round 2 against the San Jose Sharks. I think it was Game 4. This was actually the same night I was driving a giant moving truck from Pennsylvania to Iowa and moving back to Iowa. And I was listening.
How do
to
we
this
end
game
up with a 10-minute long hockey story out of this? I'm not sure how this happened. But go ahead, continue, finish.
But I was driving back from Pennsylvania to Iowa to move back to Iowa, and that it was the hand pass call. If you're a hockey fan, if you're a Blues fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there was a game in the playoffs where you're not allowed to touch the puck. Well, you can touch a puck with your hand. You can grab it out of the air and put it down, but you can't like grab the puck out of the air or pick it up off the ice and like throw it to your teammate. Right? It's called a hand pass. But that's clearly what happened. He grabbed the puck out of the air and like tossed it to his buddy who was over here, who immediately put it in the back of the net and scored a goal.
Right.
And I would like all of St. Louis was furious. All the St. Louis Blues fans went nuts. I was going nuts in a truck on the way from PA, like on the highway. Just incredible. There's no, but that's just the way it happens, right? Like
Sometimes
imagine,
you win some.
Yeah, right. Imagine like, I don't know, the mayor of St. Louis or the governor of Missouri, like calls NHL Commissioner Bettman and is like, you got to overturn this. That was a bullshit call, right? Like, can you even imagine something like that? Or I don't know, where there's some I'm sure there were some bad calls in the Knicks Spurs series.
There's processes for that.
Right.
They'll do reviews and stuff, but for a politician to make a call and then win,
well,
which clearly shows like a force, like it was not okay.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know, if you were to say manipulate the stock market or commodity prices.
Oh, yeah.
And if you were a politician, right?
It's a good point. So he's just used to doing this shit.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like this was a Kadri hit in the upper body that's spending for 8 games against the Avalanche or anything. I'm just
You're stirring the pot now, Mike. You're just stirring the pot.
We were the champions that year. Sorry, I'm an Avs fan.
Avs suck.
Yeah. It's fun.
Avs actually don't suck. They're pretty good, but
I don't care.
fuck the Avs.
All that said, then, so again, all that said, okay, he got him reinstated. Sure, we pulled some strings, got him back on the field. He's our best player. All right, whatever you got to do, you got to do. And we got our asses handed to us.
Still lost 4-1.
We didn't lose. We got hammered. And in
Right.
soccer world, Kellen, that's a fucking blowout.
4-1 is
4-1 is.
yeah. I mean, it's not a blowout in hockey, but it's pretty.
Oh, in hockey
it's
too?
a beatdown.
Yeah.
It's a beatdown.
In soccer, that's a blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally you go up 2-1, and then you go on defense and just let them just keep
Try
the
to
ball
run
around.
the time and try to run the
like
time
it's
down.
a 2-1 victory is a good solid victory.
Yeah.
4-1, that is a massacre.
Yeah.
And that's what Trump touched. Trump touched it, and it all went to shit.
And it wasn't even to like a Hispanic country or a South American country
Was it
or
Belgium?
England. It was, as my son says, the waffle country.
But waffle.
I like it.
Hey, did you? They also. I kind of wish I had the video now. They did the Trump dance.
Oh, there's a Trump dance now?
Well, you know what he does, like when he comes out to the YMCA. Jacob's got it.
Oh, yeah.
He's got-
I like how your hands are way up here. Interesting.
But yeah, they were doing the Trump and clearly mocking Trump and the
That's
US
freaking
and all that.
awesome,
Yeah.
actually.
But anyway,
Yeah. What else has Trump done lately that's turned to shit?
seriously?
Yeah. Well, like I heard something about grass on the White House lawn now. Like, is he pooping in it? What's he doing with the grass on the White House lawn? Something's new construction project again?
Well,
what the fuck is he doing?
They killed all the grass off at the UFC fight, but the new Marine One helicopter is it's called a Sikorsky S-92.
Wait, why do we have a new Marine One helicopter?
Well, to be fair, the ones that they've been using are pretty old.
That looks like shit.
Wait, that's the White House lawn?
That's the I believe that's called the ellipse. So you can see the I wish I had a laser pointer. You could see the UFC piece is still kind of standing up there in the back, but this is like the crowd and the attendees and a bunch of the
Gotcha.
events occurred
So
over here.
For our listeners on Spotify and stuff, like we're currently looking at an overhead shot of the White House grounds with the ellipse and the White House in the background, and it's all brown.
But
with
this
little blotchy spots.
this is the White House lawn, and this
what the hell is that in front?
That is the new.
So yeah, as I was saying, that new aircraft is too big. Apparently, it damages the grass when it lands on it. So they're putting in a helipad.
Okay, why? Okay, I get you on. Let's upgrade. Fine, not upgrade, but let's get a new one. But why did they have to get a bigger one that's going to hurt, that can't barely land on the freaking White House lawn, where it's going to cost us, how much did it cost us?
Well, supposedly Sikorsky Aircraft is paying for it,
That's bullshit.
but
That
Trump,
has not yet happened where he's told us a
But-
corporation's paying
but
for it.
Trump did order that they work around the clock to get it installed before the Chinese delegation visits, and that is allegedly costing $875,000.
I wonder how much business Sikorsky has in front of the federal government right now. Do they have like pending lawsuits or?
Well, I mean, this is the same.
Regulatory issues?
This is the same company that builds the Black Hawk helicopter.
Okay,
I mean,
Okay. So there's always business in front of the
Yeah.
White House.
so
every
they're
single-
they're part of that whole military industrial complex apparatus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
in general, the White House has turned to shit. In general, just this gaudy ass gold everything everywhere, coins that he's personally gluing up along the walls, and I don't know if we have a picture of that. That's one of my favorite more
No.
recent ones come out. He's literally grabbing a coin and with super glue on it to put it up. That was one of the it came out in the book that they just released a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember the names of the author, but that was one of the pictures they had.
What
Was
the
him.
fuck is wrong with him?
I just think he really was jealous of Doug Emhoff. And I think, Doug was going to be the very first, was the first husband.
Well, yeah,
Is that the term?
First man.
if Harris,
First
because
man?
that's Kamala Harris's husband.
Had
right?
had Kamala won,
Yeah.
he would have been the guy that got to decorate the White House. And to me, I think that was really what he wanted to do. I
So-
think he wanted to decorate.
So Trump just wants to be the decorative diva of the
De-
White House.
The decorative diva. I think that
decorative
works. Yeah.
diva.
Yeah. House husband.
House husband?
House husband Trump. House husband in chief. Martha.
So I in that
Martha. What's the word that goes with
Stewart, Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
oh,
Martha Trump.
Martha
that?
Trump.
Should we start calling him Martha?
Yeah. Yeah, Martha.
Martha. I like house husband.
House
Although
husband.
domestic diva would be good. Good one
Domestic
too.
diva.
Domestic diva.
But that implies that he cares about domestic issues.
oh, that's true. Let's go with decorating.
Decorating diva. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like we talked a few episodes back. He's like the landlord that just paints over the roach, right?
That's the
I mean,
truth.
this is. I mean, the pool. We beat that to death. I don't want to get into that, but they're not going to They're not going to put out another contract to fix it.
Oh, seriously?
no, they're using the exact same company.
Yeah,
no
just
bid
fucked it up.
contract.
Same
Yeah,
company?
exact same one.
Who just fucked it up?
Well, no, Mike. Someone went out there with a
Vandals.
box cutter and
Vandals
cut it.
did it
Yes.
with lab grown algae, special lab grown algae designed to eat liners off the bottom of
Allegedly,
granite pools.
Jacob Dodds was involved.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. Tifa Kingpin.
Can't make this shit up.
It really is just dumb. I mean, the biggest shit of a brick that the guy did that he touched. Well, other than if we're going into the Epstein files conversation,
Mhm.
is Iran.
Yeah.
And I think we had some news out of Iran just today that you were texting us at like freaking 5 a.m.
Yeah.
What happened today, Kellen?
Well, a lot of stuff happened today, but just like kind of along the theme of chaos all around Trump, not just Iran war has kicked back off. We have some reports here we can throw up and headlines from recent stuff happening in the news about Iran. But I did also want to point out that little graphic up there in the top left. You also had China and North Korea launching or testing like intercontinental ballistic missiles that have a range farther than the U.S. military previously thought that they could hit.
That's not what I'm reading, though. What's it say up there in that graphic?
Yeah.
You said China and North Korea?
North Korea. But
Okay.
Trump on camera said he's talking about China, and he said we had 11 missiles shot by the Islamic Republic of Japan. China is neither Islamic nor Japan.
Is that just what they do now? Like they just put the word Islamic in front of it to create a sense of fear?
His brain is fried.
Or do you think he's just stupid?
No, well, no. We've
Right.
we've talked about this extensively. How he's not stupid.
Well, they have
Right.
to give him pictures of briefings.
Right.
Pictures?
Yeah, they have to put them in picture form for
Yeah.
him
His
to keep his attention.
his presidential daily briefing, his PDB. It's a thing the intelligence community gives the president every single morning. Is like more pictures than it is words.
And he's probably looking at a map.
Yeah.
and saw Japan
Yeah.
and saw Islamic Republic of something.
Yeah. And he's thinking about Iran because right now we're bombing Iran again.
He's dementia rattled. So
Yeah.
he's those random inputs pop out and get ahead of his mouth.
So, and just to speak to those other two graphics there.
I just cited this, by the way, just to.
That's not
It's
a
true.
gaffe.
This is true.
Yeah, he really said this on camera.
No. I'm saying
Oh.
they turned his PDBs into
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
pictures.
I don't lie to you, Mike.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you do.
I wouldn't
But
either.
in this particular case, oh my God, more
Yeah.
oral presentations by intelligence
Yes.
officers as opposed to reports with
Yes.
words too.
Yeah, they show up with a little picture book.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because he has the attention span of a fucking gnat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Islamic
So-
fan.
Yeah, the other two graphics there, you were asking just what's going on with Iran. The MOU fell apart. So the memorandum of understanding, which is never really a negotiated deal or anything like that, but it's an MOU in business or anything else is a memorandum of understanding is basically like we're going to put some basic terms down on paper that essentially say we're going to work out all the fine grained details later, right?
Mhm.
And so that's what he signed in Versailles and that whole ceremony, and everybody made a big deal about it. But the problem with that is the MOU had all these things in it where, and it was front loaded for Iran. So Iran had their the license revocation that occurred for them to be able to export oil. They had that given back to them so they could start exporting oil again. Then they were to have all these assets unfrozen, about $25 billion of assets unfrozen that were supposed to come back to them. That happened immediately. So they got that money. It was all frozen. Qatar had a hold of it, and Qatar gave it to Iran. And then on top of that, there was a $300 billion, the U.S. guaranteed a $300 billion reconstruction fund, essentially.
Okay.
And that they're fighting over in the news the last couple of weeks because Iran was like, yeah, you guys said you were going to fund a $300 billion reconstruction plan. And then, Rubio and Vance are like, no, that's not what it says. Blah, 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 blah. And then they started getting asked about this because we can read, right? All of us can read. And that's in the MOU very clearly.
Details.
Right. And so reporters started asking, where's that 300 billion coming from? And some of the administration officials said, well, it's going to come from the allies in the area, the Arab allies, the Arab states in the area are going to pitch in because it's all beneficial to them, right? And all of them
totally
are like, what
making
the
that
fuck
shit
are
up.
you talking about?
Yeah.
We're not giving hundreds of billions of dollars to Iran, you crazy fucks. So no, they're like, no, that's not what's going on. And in the most recent trip, Rubio went over to the Middle East to meet some of the allies, and basically somebody asked him, like, did this come up? Like the 300 billion come up? Did you talk to them about this? And he's like, well, no, we didn't talk about that. And so there were already tensions in the MOU, right? But the other part of the MOU was Iran with Oman would maintain control of the Strait of Hormuz. And so Iran and Oman started back-channeling, negotiated this agreement that there would be basically two sides of the strait. You would have the Omani side and you would have the Iranian side. But currently, as a part of the MOU, Iran said nobody goes through the Strait of Hormuz unless they're coming through our side.
Okay.
The U.S. started telling other countries, don't worry about that. Just go on ahead through the Omani side. They're not going to do anything to you, right? And so it was maybe 2 weeks ago, the first ship that the U.S. told to do that went through. Iran shot at it, disabled the ship. A couple days later, happened again. A ship tried to go through the Omani side, and then I think it was Monday, 2 days ago, they shot at yesterday. They shot at 3 ships that were going through the Omani side and said, we told you to stop doing this. We have control over the strait. This is part of the MOU. And because of that, the U.S. launched strikes. That was last night. Tonight,
Launch strikes, meaning
missiles, bombers.
how many? Like against
80, I believe the count was like 82 or 85 different sites in Iran were
that's
struck.
not a shot across the bow. That's a
Right.
fuck you, we're back at war again.
Yeah, that's a back at war again.
Jesus.
Yeah. And Iran immediately responded and hit the same number of sites, like 82 or 85 or whatever the number was, launched a bunch of missiles and drones. And then the war of words starts, right? So today Trump goes out and he calls the Iranian leaders scum, because that's how you get people to negotiate with you, is you call them scum. And Iran was basically said earlier today, if the U.S. attacks us again, we're completely closing the strait and nobody's going through the Strait of Hormuz. And they also said, if the U.S. attacks us, we're going to retaliate twofold. So for every strike you make against us, we're going to make 2 strikes against you.
Oh, great.
Right.
Right.
And so it was about 2 hours ago. It's 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern right now. 2 or 3 hours ago, CENTCOM, and that was the image that we had up there. CENTCOM says they've restarted strikes in Iran.
Okay.
That's that one down below from ABC News. And then Trump went out and said, ceasefire's over.
Just openly.
So that's it. Back to war.
Full on.
Yeah.
War on.
War on, war off.
Call-
War on. War, yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on the reference.
I was with you.
Car.
By the way, let's take a look at the shirt today. This made my day. Jacob in his shirts. He always comes through for us every week, it seems like at this point. Going way back to when I was a youngster, back in the mid 80s, 1980s, 1985-ish, right? 1986, with a little
85, I think.
with a little MTV video.
Yeah.
You want to give us the background on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the video was Money for Nothing by Dire Straits.
Well,
With
that's
a cameo by Sting.
That's right. That's right.
And yeah, it was the first computer-generated video.
It was
of any
awesome at
kind.
the time.
So yeah, that's the 2 characters from the video.
They're like moving company at first, and they start playing the band, don't they? Aren't they like moving stuff around and?
Well, that's like one of the we gotta move these microwave ovens.
Oh, that's
Mike.
right. That's right.
We gotta move these color TVs.
Custom kitchen delivery. Got to move these refrigerators.
Oh my God.
Kellen's like, I wasn't even conceived yet. It happens.
85? Yeah, not quite.
Not quite there.
Not quite there. Yeah.
So this actually, if you're okay with us jumping there this early in the show, I think we may have some stuff on the back end of this, Kellen.
Well, no, hold on.
Go more Iran. Go Iran.
One more thing about Iran, because like people are fed up. And we kind of started this conversation just about the chaos around the White House, and everything you touch turns to shit.
Mhm.
And just MTG is back at it, right? And the quote here is really important, because she's not the only former mega, right, who is really upset about this. This was a line. I mean, for her, Epstein was also a line,
Right.
but this was a line. And I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but it's dripping in sarcasm and cynicism, and she's just, yeah, she's not happy.
Give me one sentence. I can't see it through.
Well, we are back to bombing Iran during the ceasefire for the Iran war. That is not a war, because Iran bombed a vessel for crossing the Strait of Hormuz that they don't control, yet apparently control. Not sure how they bombed the vessel, because we've totally and completely obliterated their military and beat them in the war that is not a war, like 40 times now. I'm so glad Trump ran for president to end forever foreign wars. Otherwise, I might start thinking this war that is not a war, that we won like 40 times, is starting to turn into another forever foreign war in the Middle East. And good thing Pete Hegseth, Secretary of the Department of Defense, war, is headed to Israel to take orders from, ask for advice on how to totally wipe out Iran, bring peace. I'm totally sure no one in the executive branch or donors will do any sort of insider trading based on super duper secret military decisions.
She's called it out. Wow.
You know, the kind based on intelligence that Congress is going to fuse with Israel's military after they all vote to pass the National Defense/War Authorization Act, because this is exactly what we all voted for when we said, make America great again. I said I wasn't going to read a whole thing, but it was good.
Epic.
Yeah,
it was well written. MTG. But at the same time, yes, you did, you fucknut.
Yeah,
we knew what you were getting into. Just because they say something that comes out of their damn mouth doesn't mean it's true, and it's not hard to see that just by looking at the people they surround themselves with.
There were plenty.
It ain't that hard to figure out.
There were plenty of people warning her.
Yeah.
And warning all people in MAGA that this was lying. That this is exactly going to happen. He's lying. He's full of shit, and he's going to do. Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
It's
Governor candidate in Iowa, Zach Lane. Is it Lane? Not Lane.
Lane.
L-A-H-N. It should be Lon. I don't know why he says Lane.
It's Lane.
Lane. I know you say that, but it's spelled Lon. He's like, I care about cancer rates and I care about restricting big ag. No, you don't, you fucker.
No.
You work for fucking AFP and for the Koch brothers. You don't. You just don't. Look who you surround yourself with. You're lying. He's lying to get your vote, people. And if you fall for that shit the same way that MTG fell for Trump, I don't know what else we can do at this point. You're just being lied to openly. You're being proven wrong every fucking year, every decision that Trump makes. And then you're like, well, I guess maybe we should vote for a different Republican. That might change the answer. They're all like this. They all do this shit.
Yep.
They're lying to you because they know it riles you up and you vote for them.
Yep.
And then they do whatever the fuck they want to make money. You
Yep.
got it?
That's
Pretty
it.
simple. Pretty simple.
But I mean, we've been saying that for years, right? Like we were on this podcast, not on video, but on this podcast talking about that years ago.
Yeah.
And you know, we weren't the only ones. A lot of people
Oh, yeah.
have been saying this, but
And
Project 2025 didn't exist.
well, it was a liberal hoax,
Yeah.
right? That's
Right.
what they all said.
Right.
That's all bullshit. There's no way that they're gonna do what they say that they're gonna do in
And-
Project
and
2025.
Gas was going to come
Push
down on
it.
day one.
Day one.
right. And W did it as well. As much as more of a like him than like Trump, like we knew he was going to do that when he
Yep.
got elected. He was going to figure out a way to go to war in the Middle East. And then he got handed 9/11 and he went a completely different direction than where he should have been to go to war in fucking Iraq.
He said our energy costs would be cut in half, our energy bills, our electric bill. He said groceries would be less expensive, gas would be down,
Just went and touched it and it turned to shit.
everything turned to shit.
Everything's turned to shit. Just like the White House lawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times. Our 220th celebration turned to shit. Turned to a bunch of cardboard booths.
I saw there's
It's
algae.
like the
back.
inside of his diaper.
I saw the algae's back in the reflective
Again?
pool.
Again, of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, you pull water out of a fucking basin
Right. Out of a natural water source
and put it in a stagnant, shallow source
in
with direct sunlight.
direct sunlight with super hot summer heat.
But they hired the same people to repair it. So I'm sure it'll fix this time.
No bid.
No bid.
He's gonna do a better job.
Well,
than
they
that,
wouldn't.
don't worry.
They wouldn't have to fix it if it weren't for all the damn vandals
Right.
They're
in Washington D.C. that
Nice.
no longer has any crime.
with cameras on everything where they can literally watch someone do that and don't have evidence of it.
Mm.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
The liner that was cut with a knife, the liner that's not a liner that was cut with a knife that couldn't be cut with a knife.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel inspired by Marjorie Taylor Greene today. I'm just going to say it out loud. It happened. I'm inspired.
Today, this is the
MTG.
day.
First time I've ever read anything she's written. I'm like, yeah, she's right.
I'll give credit to any MAGA that realized that their whole movement is a throne of lies.
Right.
I mean, once they see it and they start calling it out, I'm good with it.
Joe
So
Walsh
this
is
is-
in that.
I'm not
category.
saying that I agree with anything that Marjorie Taylor Greene stands for, but
So I have to look this way, right? Hi, Jacob. I see you.
Jacob's actually in that
Jacob's over
direction
there
from you.
technically,
Yeah.
but like I'm looking at him right over here. It's like that. They do that on what Hollywood Squares. And
Well, I could put you in the middle because the
That's
way the
literally
studio
where I
is
am.
set up, you're in the.
yeah, it's okay though. I'll talk to Jacob
Yeah.
over here. Hey, Jacob.
Hey.
Hey, so here's the only thing about all this, and I just said it again. I'm just gonna repeat it again. They're all like this. The party, this is their strategy as a party. It has nothing to do with the issues. They don't give a shit about the issues.
No.
They tell you what you want to hear around the issues so that you vote for them, and then they do whatever the fuck they want to make money. That's at the state level, at the federal level. That is them. They are corrupt. The GOP of 2026 is corrupt. Period. There's no other way to put it. And we had what episode? 3-4 episodes ago talk about one of these things is not like the other.
Mm-hmm. That was like last week, wasn't it? No, it was
2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. June 24th thing maybe.
Yeah.
They're not the same. It's just fact. They're not the same. We have some corrupt politicians. Their party is using a corrupt strategy to misguide you and mislead you and lie to you so they can have power to make money.
So, what kind of issues, Mike?
Kind of issues?
Yeah. What kind of issues do you see? I guess you would say shifting in terms of concern.
Well,
over
let's go back to Zach Lon for a moment.
Lane,
Just going to call him Lon. So
Kansas man.
is what we're saying. I'm going to agree with you, Kellen. So we had an argument earlier, as we do before most every episode, is the political scientists in the House. I tell him a thing. He's like, no, that's not accurate. I'm like, what the fuck do you know? You only have a PhD in this shit. He's like, well, it's not accurate because ABC. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So he usually is right. And in this case, I said there's a political realignment going on.
Which I think there is.
Okay.
I just don't think it's happened yet.
Well, they usually happen over 20, 40 years kind of thing.
Every 60 to 80 years or so
Oh.
throughout American history, we have one.
But how long does it take one to happen?
Yeah, so to fully flesh out and get from start to finish, it could take decades.
Okay, that makes sense.
But when you put a pin to say this is the starting point,
We
is
may
re-
be there.
we might be there. This might be the election where you're right, where you start seeing that realignment occur.
Okay.
And
So-
I say election because you have to tie it to the voting coalitions.
That makes sense.
So which groups have switched that, I guess you would say traditionally
Or from this most recent.
right. And so I don't know that we're actually seeing one because I didn't see large blocks of voters that are usually reliably Democrat all of a sudden like reliably Republican.
Gotcha.
So we saw movements and shifts. Like we saw Latino and Black voters voting for Trump in higher numbers than they had previously, but not in a way that I would say the Democrats lost the Latino and Black vote.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I'm going to point it out this way then.
Mhm.
I believe right now Republicans see the writing on the wall going into this election. It's the polls most definitely are showing it.
Yeah.
If you look at Trump's likability, just historical rates of a president during a midterm election usually has struggles in general. And right now, this looks like it's going to be a freaking slaughter
Yeah.
of Republicans based on all the polls, right?
Yep.
So I see Republican candidates right now already trying to pivot and steal voters and steal entire blocks of groups. And
Yep.
the one I'm going to point out right off the bat, based on Governor
Kansas,
Governor candidate for governor, not governor, good God, Lon of Kansas, he is going after environmentalists.
Okay.
And I'm not sure we have it written like that in our thing here, but his focus right now, what he went around and talked about all over the country, was cancer rates related to water quality. There's a pretty clear correlation and quite frankly, likely causation between the ridiculous amount of nitrates and other shit we have in our water in Iowa because of the massive increases in hog confinements and number of hogs we have shitting.
Mhm.
That then goes on our fields and then gets washed because of bad farming practices into our rivers.
The last time I checked, there were six hogs for every one Iowan.
Right. And they
I
shit
think
more
that's
often
still true.
because they're constantly eating their shit.
Yeah.
Right. We shit once a day sometimes, maybe.
Well, they shit like 3 times a day.
Yeah, if not even more often,
Yeah.
right? And so all that said, we're going off a tangent, but here's my point. He made this part of his campaign. That is not a recent tradition, Republican campaign issue.
Right. You mean being concerned with
Water quality.
the environment, and health.
The environment and health, yeah. And you added health in there too, and I think that's a big piece of it. But in the way he's doing it, so Republicans will tell you, we care about water quality. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars in treatment facilities to take nitrates out,
Mhm.
right? That's not concern about water quality. That's, oh, fuck, we polluted our water to the point it's not drinkable. We have to do something while also not holding our big ag accountable to putting shit into our water.
Proactive versus reactive,
Yeah.
right? Like, are you doing things to make sure problems don't happen down the road, or are you like, oh my God, there's a crisis, we need to fix it right now?
Right. Because if Des Moines takes the shit out of their water, Grimes, which is just upriver from Des Moines and the Raccoon River and Des Moines River, that's just not out of the water yet, and they're still pulling water out of that river.
Right.
So that's not helping the situation. So Lon says he makes that like the focal point of his campaign. He sounds like an environmentalist, and I'm dead set believing that his goal is to steal white middle class environmentalists, because that tends to be your primary environmental voter. They're Democrats right now because they care about the environment, because it's clear Republicans don't at all. But they're not as high necessarily on racial issues, on LGBTQ plus issues, on issues relating to welfare or to Medicaid or senior citizens. They care about the environment, and that's their number one cause.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's trying to steal those votes, because it's an easy one for him to steal, because Sand, who's running on the other side, is his whole family. Sand. At least I didn't put the S on it.
That's how they pronounce it in Kansas.
Sand, or Canada even. And but in Kansas.
Kansas.
His whole family is all big ag.
Yeah.
Like
Sand's family is.
Sand.
Yeah.
Sam
Yeah,
Stanley
that's
is a big
it's
egg.
a weakness for him. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And Lane knows exactly what the fuck he's doing politically. He does not give a shit about environment. Don't let him fool you. AFP doesn't give a
No,
shit about
he's-
regulation. He used to work for AFP. He worked for the Koch brothers.
In all likelihood, still takes money from AFP. It's just all going through backdoors
route.
and different routes and
Right.
whatnot. So in theory, he still works for AFP.
Yeah, and he's part of the Koch
Americans
family.
for Prosperity.
Right. He
Yeah.
worked for the Koch brothers, and he married into kind of the Koch family. His wife was married into the Koch
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
right?
He stole one of the Koch
grandkids, but they're all still
wife.
buddies and friends, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not, it hasn't gone away. Guess who has the largest fertilizer plant in the Midwest? In Iowa.
Rob Sand?
Not right. Yeah. The Koch brothers. They don't want to be fucking regulated.
No, that was a joke. Yeah,
No, I know.
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Koch brothers.
Yeah.
and their tentacles are far and
Yeah.
they're long and they're wide.
So
and they're
this
big.
asshole is lying.
Yeah,
He's telling people what they want to hear because he sees a movement and he's trying to get them on board, just like the Maha movement did with RFK and got a bunch of moms who cared about their kids to suddenly vote for Trump because they liked RFK stuff about healthy eating and immunizations and taking care of their babies, right? That was something they moved for. They got them. They
Mhm.
got the vote. And so I'm seeing these trends. I'm seeing these movements, right?
yeah.
What else is out there? I know you put a graphic here. What else? What other issues are they trying to take right now?
We did make a graphic.
We did. Yeah.
So, through just kind of a cursory look at the political landscape right now, and I at first I thought, well, maybe this is just specific to Iowa, but I really don't think it is. I think you're seeing a lot of this across the country. But there were really 4 issue areas I think that we landed on in terms of issue areas that historically you would associate as strong points for the Democrats. And by strong points, I mean you go back through polling numbers and some of that polling data that asks, and maybe I should have brought some of this with me today, but I didn't. And we can talk about this next week a little bit too. But in terms of like polling data, when you ask people who's better on this issue, right? There are certain things that some people see the parties doing better than the other party, one party doing better than the other party. And historically, national security and the economy has very much been what people view Republicans as being really good at or more responsible with. It kind of depends on the pollster and the question that they're asking. But these 4 tend to be sort of the area or the issue area. People who really care about healthcare, people who really care about the environment, people who are anti-war, and people who are anti-corruption. Generally speaking, historically speaking, over the last several decades, people have viewed the Democratic Party as being stronger on those issues in polling numbers, just in terms of the way the American people in general feel about those issues. And now you see a really strong push. And yeah, we see that big time in the Lane Sand gubernatorial race here in Iowa. And I think you see that in other races here in Iowa. But I think you're seeing it across the U.S. as well, where Republicans are trying to attract new voters by focusing in on these 4 issue areas. So healthcare, and you see this with the Maha movement, although that's kind of splintered recently. A big part of that is RFK Jr. and his hypocrisy around glyphosates.
Right.
But that whole anti-big pharma, the anti-vax movement was definitely co-opted by the right and Trump's coalition. In terms of environment, you're starting to see that. I don't know if that's more prominent outside of Iowa, but certainly in this race, as you were alluding to a minute ago, Mike, that concern over clean water, stewardship, that sort of thing, has become more and more prominent in terms of messaging on the right. Anti-war, we just had Marjorie Taylor Greene on the screen giving a long diatribe about how this is one of the dumbest wars she's ever seen. Right? No forever wars, America first. We need to focus on domestic policy. We need to stop being isolationist. Those are messages that you're seeing more and more coming from the right. And then in terms of corruption, you're really seeing this on both sides, right? Obviously, on the left, people are hammering Trump and his administration for the grift, for the $2 billion in crypto he made last year while screwing everybody else, the insider trading, like Marjorie Taylor Greene was pointing out. And at the same time, you see Trump with his whole drain the swamp idea and anti-establishment, and it's the deep state and whatnot. They sort of have different rhetoric that they put around it and different narratives that they try to spin. But ultimately, you're seeing Republicans trying to sort of move in on Democratic turf here. And I don't know, by and large, I think many of these Republican candidates are being successful in shifting opinions in some of these issue areas. And so that question down there at the bottom is really important. Is it more the Republicans are sealing these issues and really doing a good job of focusing in on them and sort of pulling voters away from Democrats? Or are Democrats ceding ground because they're not fighting harder on the issues that historically they've been very strong on? I don't know. It's a question that I thought we could talk a little bit about.
I think for me, it's they suck at those issues. Republicans do in terms of enacting them.
Yeah.
Like, you can go through point by point by point by point and be like, yeah, they don't do any of that at all. Even the healthcare stuff with the Maha movement, like, he has had no traction. He's actually gone against the Maha movement. Trump has, and Kennedy has ceded that in his role. But it's all about political rhetoric. That comes back to they're just openly lying to people and saying we believe this, even though when we actually get in power, we are not going to do any of this shit. And that's clearly, to me, what's happening here. It's just campaign rhetoric. It has nothing to do with actual values or policies that they're actually going to do once in power. Would you agree with that at all, Jacob?
Oh yeah, I think that it's really a little bit part of the grift. I mean, they're definitely coattailing on the way that Trump sells things. But I also think that they realize that in the past 2 elections, these are the things that they're failing on. You know, these are the things when they go to the town halls, they're getting screamed at about.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they've shifted their focus, but Kellen, I think the key thing is with that graphic you put up is that while they've taken on those issues, their approach is not the same.
Yeah.
Their solutions are not the same, or how they view the problem is not the same.
Right.
You know, they're not interested in clean energy or environmental stuff or conservation when it comes to the environment. It's okay, we have this problem. We have this industry that's polluting the world, whether it be the coal industry or the ag industry. How do we help make our buddies rich by coming up with a solution for it?
Right. And by the way, and Jessica made a really good comment on our Facebook page, is go to your neighbors down the road and talk to them about how they are doing their best to keep that shit out of the water, essentially. I'm paraphrasing.
Well, yeah, and Vilsack under Biden, right in the last year there, was championing some of the tech that could convert bio waste,
Right.
pig shit.
You're talking
into
policy.
fuel.
You're talking
Yeah,
policy.
right.
So what I was getting at, though, on that front is that stop blaming the farmers for this shit.
Right.
Quite literally, stop blaming
Right.
the farmers. They're doing the thing that they've been told they have to do to make money,
Farm.
to stay in industry, to farm.
Yeah.
Right. And in many cases, they're doing their best to try to meet standards that they've been given. Many are doing voluntary standards on purpose. The issue is it's not enough. But if they don't put actual regulations to keep them from farming in this way,
Mm-hmm.
they can't stay in the market. They'll lose their farm. They can't compete if they farm in a way that's voluntary, because the voluntary farms, the ones that aren't doing it voluntary, are making more money.
Right.
And they're able to outcompete them.
Right.
And the margins are so incredibly slim in agriculture. You can't afford not to compete and still keep your farm in 2026.
So it seems like the best approach here is both a stick and a carrot, right? So punishing for not adhering to certain things, but also incentivizing for doing the right thing.
Yeah, I'd say so. A little of everything. I think everyone has to be held to the same standard. Everyone, if we're gonna say stop dumping shit in the water, that's oversimplified, right?
Right.
But if we're gonna say you need to have rows of non-crops between your buffer strips between your crops and creeks, and it's going to be the law, we need to make it the law. We can't say you can do it if you want, and we'll give you some extra money if you do it that way. You have to say you have to have 16 feet of, some kind of other crop that captures that manure during heavy rains right after you applied it.
Mm-hmm.
And every farm has to do it, because until then, farmers can't compete otherwise. They will lose their fucking farm
Yeah.
if they can't row crop all the way to the
Well,
gate.
financially speaking, it doesn't make sense to invest in technology as a farmer to prevent that runoff because it doesn't do anything to make you money. All
Right.
it's doing is you're spending money to prevent something from happening that has no impact
Right.
on your bottom line other than costing you money.
But if everybody does it, supply goes down slightly, prices go up slightly, everyone makes the same amount of money going
Right.
in.
Tragedy
right?
of the
Like
commons.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to do it equally across. This idea of voluntary thing, incentivizations, there you go, is bullshit. And Republicans refuse to do that, to your point.
Where I'll deviate from that though a little bit is they already did this in healthcare, and
What
it
do you
has
mean?
not worked well.
What do you mean did this?
Created additional layers of regulation and requirements that have only added cost to the healthcare system.
Okay. So how would you have done it differently in healthcare that we can apply to farming? What do you got?
I think the issue is when you and this is where I'm going to sound like an old school Republican, is when you bring the federal bureaucracy into it, and you don't have stakeholders that work in that arena every day. The regulations that's when the regulations take the turn to becoming bothersome.
100%. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
There's so many things that I mean I don't want to take too much time up on it, but there's anybody that's listening that's a healthcare provider knows what I'm talking about. You know, whether it's certain metrics that have to be met or certain reporting requirements that have to be met, or you know that patients have to sign this form or that form when they come into the hospital, like that all requires stuff and more people
Right.
to do.
Mhm.
And that was all stuff that really didn't do anything. Like the regulation got put in place for a reason, like EMTALA, for example,
Right.
but that added additional cost to the healthcare system when they did that. And as long as they don't add a lot of unnecessary bureaucracy in farm regulation, that'll be fine. But if they make it to where it requires that, you know, farms have to hire additional people to
They got
mitigate that.
do photography on the entire thing, and they have to buy a drone to show that they're row cropping a certain way,
Right.
kind of thing, and add that extra piece.
Or if they have additional documentation that they have to submit to the federal government every year, or
right.
they have to create federal inspectors to come out and look at that stuff, like that all adds cost to the system, and it
Right.
doesn't really fix anything.
Nor does it increase revenue in any way.
Right. So having that extra money coming from the federal government, maybe, but I'm not even an advocate of federal regulation. I think it's Iowans that have our water polluted right now, and it's Iowan farmers that are forced to be caught up in a little bit of that. Let's solve that at a state level. I don't think it needs to be federal, and I think we can work with our farmers to figure it out. And in many cases, we've done that at a county level, at local levels, with conversations with organizations like JFAM over in Jefferson County. They work a lot with local farmers that have CAFOs, and some of it's worked out really well. Some of it hasn't.
What's JFAM and CAFO?
Well, CAFO, yeah, as you know, is a hog confinement.
Yeah,
right?
I know, but we have listeners who have
Yeah.
no idea what the fuck. you're talking
JFAM is Jefferson something.
Jefferson Friends and Neighbors or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Friends
Or
and-
Farms and Neighbors.
yeah.
Farms and Neighbors, I think, is what it is.
And their big thing is healthy farms, healthy life for the communities, kind of thing. And part of that is they don't want any more CAFOs in Jefferson County because they know what it does to the water
about.
quality.
A CAFO is a confined area feeding operation.
Sure, I call it
I believe
hog
that's what it's called.
confinement. Hog confinement.
It's a big ass hog house.
Right.
A CAFO.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're not sitting here criticizing people who do that for a living.
Right.
Really not. Like that's the industry they've gotten into. Those are the regulations around it. They're doing what they do in order to have a business and make a life, right? We have to put something in there though. We can't do nothing. So because the water's getting more and more polluted. You can't go swimming right now in Geode again. You can't go swimming in Lake Darling again.
Really?
Because
And
again, they just fucking drained it and cleaned it out.
they
not that long ago.
just dredged the whole. They
Yeah.
literally drained the entire thing.
They've done that. They've done that every year since it reopened.
Really?
And Lake Darling up in Brighton's the same way.
Yeah. It's not healthy to go in right now. And it keeps happening and more and more regularly. And I'm not criticizing farmers by this. I'm saying the industry is stupid. It's
Some of
fucked.
it is those fucking Canadian geese too.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Shitting in the
Canadian
water.
geese. There's a shitload of those Canadians.
Yeah, you got a problem with Canadian geese. You got a problem with me.
Wait, hold on. You're over here. Where you at? Right over there?
No, other way.
This
other
way?
Yeah.
I see you over there,
Yeah.
Kellen. So, Kellen, I put in your Slack a picture. I'd like you to show if you get a chance to put it up there for me.
Yeah, if you give me a second.
Yeah, take your time. So I'm going to set this one up a little bit. We keep talking about how Republicans just are lying.
Good Joe.
Yeah, and this is a picture that Kellen's going to pull up here in a second of Joe Mitchell, who's running for the second congressional district in Northeast Iowa, I guess it would be.
Yeah, that's
Against Lindsey James.
Yeah,
Cedar
that's right.
Rapids, Dubuque,
Yeah.
that whole area up there, right? So this guy is actually from here, Henry County, Iowa. He grew up in a small town in Wayland, Iowa. He actually used to have the state representative seat until he got knocked out because of redistricting, right?
hmm
And he lost to Jeff Shipley. That was part of our district. So Joe is what you call the quintessential, I'm going to lie and say whatever the hell I have to just to get power kind of politician. He will say and do anything he has to do it, including just moving to a whole different district randomly right before an election, which he just did as he moved from Mount Pleasant up to Des Moines and now to Clear Creek, I think he's in. Not Clear Creek. He's at Clear Lake, Iowa, I believe he lives now.
This is Joe Mitchell.
Yeah, he just randomly moved there because he wanted to run for office. He has no history in that district at all. He's never lived in that district. He knows nobody in that district. He just saw it as a place he could go and potentially win an election. So he goes and he's on the campaign trail and doing his BS shit here. He meets with a guy and shakes his hand named Dave Bashaw.
That's
who is-
this guy here
Yep. And he is also running for Congress in the second district
for the same seat.
for the same seat as an
Okay.
independent. This guy is about as left as you get.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't strike me as a far righter, but
Nope.
okay.
No, but eventually you get back around the other side, right? A little bit.
Yeah, the horseshoe theory. Right?
Yeah, but he has hippie looking all over him. But if you really look at it, he has a union shirt on, and he is 100% union guy.
Okay.
He's fed up with the system. If you actually look at his policies, most people would probably agree with him. They're fed up with corruption. He's a lot of the things that
Working class guy.
He's a working class guy, right? Maybe needs a haircut, but that's about it.
Hey man.
Joe Mitchell literally posts this picture on his site. Joe goes, takes a picture of this guy and says, Dave Bashaw for Congress is a good man, and I'm glad we ran into each other today. Anyone battling the status quo is a friend of mine.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, the Republicans are the status quo, and
Yeah.
Joe Mitchell is endorsed by Donald Trump.
And he was the status quo for years as our state representative, passing most of the laws we're dealing with today
Right.
as a status quo, as in a Republican-controlled state house.
So what the
And
fuck is Joe talking about?
He's openly lying to the public again.
Right.
And just saying, hey, I'm going to go over here and shake this hand and then see if I can get some of those guys to vote for me instead of for Lindsey James, a Democrat,
Right.
because he's just trying to get votes by association. Nothing else. The issues he doesn't give a shit about at all. It's all a game for this guy and for all these damn Republicans who are running in 2026.
That's just ironic that the guy that voted to strip away collective bargaining rights is shaking the hand, endorsing a guy that is wearing a union shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for our non-Iowa listeners, the moment Joe was elected in 2016, having not campaigned on it at all, none of the Republicans having campaigned on it, they won majority in the House, Senate, and governor's office that year, and completely stripped away state employees' union ability to collective bargain.
Hey, just shaking this
straight up.
guy's hand.
Yeah.
So that matters. I
It's
guess.
just pathetic, really. It's really pathetic.
Well, it's kind of like let's come back up there. It's kind of like Jeff Shipley coming to the Salem Elementary School closing
Oh yeah,
and then going through all of that and everybody leaving there and thanking him,
yeah. Like,
despite
what?
him being one of the most prominent voices against.
I still I can't even describe how much rage I felt about that.
It's just unreal. The cognitive dissonance. I think that's the best way to put it. Is just cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just there's a selfishness about it. They're in it for themselves. They're not in it for their communities. You know what? A case in point. I don't know if I told you this, guys. So during the realignment, what do you call it? Not a realignment. The redistricting.
Yeah.
Our buddy here,
7 years ago. Yeah.
Yep, Joe Mitchell. was running against Jeff Shipley in the primary because they got realigned into the same district, right? That was 2022. That was the election that I ran for state house on the Democrat side.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the same primary ticket. So during that primary, I was on Dem side, they were on the Republican side,
Right.
and I was going to run against the winner, right? So Shipley wins, Joe loses for the first time in his life. And the next day I get a phone call from Joe Mitchell. I don't know if I told you this.
I don't remember this. No.
And Joe calls me and says, hey, there's not going to do anything publicly for you, but I'm going to tell you what you need to know to beat him. Here's some hints. Here's what I learned about Jeff Shipley is I don't like him.
Yeah, the question in the back of my mind as you say that is, why would he do that? You know,
because he considers himself more of a moderate Republican, even though he's not.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I actually know why he called me. I'm not going to say it out loud online though. Jeff pulled some bullshit shit in the campaign that really
I
quietly,
think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, quietly accused Joe of some things that weren't true.
Yeah.
And
quietly, it was loudly.
Yeah, it was loudly. Yeah, and so Joe had a vendetta against the guy.
Oh, did he accuse him of wrapping a turd in the American flag?
No.
Jeff just loves to play the culture war game.
He does. That's
it.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Loves to play the culture war game and made some accusations against Joe, and Joe resented it and hated him for it, playing dirty politics against his own party member. And so Joe was like, fuck that, I'm going to go after you. And he did. Now, he didn't go publicly after him, but he went. And he called me and said, I know this. My research on Jeff said this. You should take this approach. Now, granted, I didn't on a couple of those things because that would work in a primary. It doesn't work in a general. But he literally called his opponent to take out a member of his own party.
That's interesting.
And then 2 years prior to that, when Jeff Fager got in the race to run against him, I got a call from him that I know Joe. We're in the same circles. He knew my uncle really well. And he called me, he had my number. We're not great friends. I think I've had beers with him one time. And he calls me up and says, hey, can you get Jeff Fager to drop out of the race? And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I just, with COVID and everything. And I'll just be honest with you, going and door knocking is like my least favorite part of being an elected official. I don't want to have an opponent. And I just don't want to have him in the race. I want to be
talking to constituents.
Yeah, actually going and talking to constituents. Yeah. He didn't want to have to do that. And he literally called me and begged me to call Jeff Fager, who was running against him on Democratic ticket, to step off the ticket. And I said, Joe, I can't do that for you, buddy. I don't know why you're asking me that. And sorry, good luck, But like, what? And that sounds like I'm being demeaning or whatever, making up stories. Those are true calls. I will go to my grave. I will let you know those actually happened. If I could find my caller history, I would give you a call. The guy doesn't like talking to his own constituents, and the guy is willing to turn his back on his own party for political gain. Period. That's it. Like, he's all about himself to grow and get as far as he can in the political process, to the point that he'll move to a completely different community he's never lived in to actually run for Congress, which he sure as hell hasn't earned at that level.
That sounds like somebody else we talked about earlier, moving from one place to another to run for office.
Is he Kansan from Kansas?
Yes.
Kansan.
Lon.
Zach Lon from Kansas.
We got a cock ring salesman and a sauerkraut salesman. And
go there. I don't think we've actually talked about the fact he's a cock ring salesman.
Yeah,
just
we did.
briefly.
We did talk about it.
We did. Yeah, we talked
he's
about
invested
that. He wasn't actually a salesman. He just invested in the company that made them.
Part owner of a cock ring company.
Oh my God. Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey.
But the fact that he tried to be like, oh no, it was a medical company before it became that.
Well, Feenstra ran ads about it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. He went the whole like.
Where do we stand on this as three white guys?
I don't know. No kink shaming here, man.
Yeah,
Cock
right.
rings,
you can please your gal. Go ahead and please your gal.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Or yourself, or your guy,
or if that's
good
just
point. Yeah, we don't care.
Whatever.
That's just what you need to keep it up.
There you go.
I mean, whatever.
No kink shaming on our side.
Yeah, no, not over here.
But he denied it, huh?
Oh yeah. He said that he divested when he invested in the company. It was a medical company for erectile dysfunction treatment, but then they went the adult toy realm and he divested from the company.
Because that's what companies usually do. That's a
which I see it
Big
as
ass pivot.
about as transparent as his claim that, oh, I've lived in Iowa for the last 6 years
Mm-hmm.
because I own farmland in Belle Plaine that has fucking nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I came back and bought the family farm, but I fly my private plane from fucking Des Moines to
Are you
Kansas.
familiar? Are you familiar with Belle Plaine at all?
Yes.
Do you know which part of town the Lane farmland is?
I believe I saw on a map. Somebody researched this. I believe I saw on a map that it's actually several miles northeast of the city.
Northeast,
Yeah.
not northwest.
Okay.
No, I don't believe so. I think it's more towards the Powesheik County line.
Okay. There's a reason I'm asking that, and I won't put it on the air, but I'll talk because if it was northwest, I'd have a whole other list of questions for you.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Given I don't know, Belle Plaine's having significant water issues, drinking water issues. Like the city manager had to go door to door, knocking on people's door and telling them not to drink the water in Belle Plaine, and some of that. There was some stuff going on. I don't think that he was involved though. If his farm was northeast of town and not northwest of town.
Well, let's face it. It's not his farm.
Right.
It's cash rent land.
Right.
So let's look at that for a second. Can you pull up a website and show it on this thing?
Yeah.
I'm throwing a curveball at you.
Oh, the Beacon?
Yeah, I can
Oh no, I was just gonna have him pull up the Zach Lawn for Governor website.
Oh.
And then click the About button.
Yeah, you had to give me the URL you want me to go to.
ZachLawn.com.
Oh, not.
Want me to text
You
it
got
to
to
you?
give. No, you just got to give me a second.
Yeah, I got you covered.
ZachLane.com.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm trying to be phonetically correct there. Okay, now go to the About page.
Okay.
And what's that first line say? Can you read it?
Yeah, and in fact, I can zoom in for the
Shot.
viewers at home.
Yeah, very good.
Zach Lawn Lane is not a politician, but another Iowan like you. He's a father, farmer, and a businessman.
You're good. That's it. He also says he's 6th generation Iowan, but I don't know how you are that when you've lived out of state most of your life.
He's
But-
his own biggest donor, but all that money originally came from the Koch brothers.
Right. So
He doesn't answer to anybody, just God, his family, and the people of Iowa, and also Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
So scroll down a little bit, Kellen. That picture. Scroll down so
That's
we can see
Kansas.
the
That's
bottom
Kansas,
of the
isn't it?
picture.
Oh, you guys gotta ask me to do all this technical stuff.
What kind of
on
crop is that in the background
It's a
there?
rock.
Yeah, what is that crop?
It's
That's
wheat.
wheat.
It's wheat.
That
isn't it?
looks like wheat
He's
to
in
me.
Kansas. He's the fucker's in Kansas.
How many wheat farmers are in Iowa?
There's a few, but not that many.
Yeah, and not in Belle Plaine.
and none in Belle Plaine.
Right. Yeah.
This picture is definitely in Kansas.
Well, and to be fair, Kansas is known for having these big ass fucking rocks everywhere in places. So like, this is definitely Kansas.
that
that-
picture
and there's-
is in Kansas.
That and there's not a cell phone tower,
right. There's
wind
no
turbine
windmill
or water
Wind
tower
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
for
nothing.
miles.
Especially not in Belle Plaine.
That is Kansas.
That
100%.
picture is in Kansas.
So she shows up at a rally the other day and speaks, and she's wearing a $4,000 dress.
I saw that. It was $4,000 on sale.
Yeah.
On
And
sale, it was $4,000.
has the trad wife look. Did
Yeah.
you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. $4,000. And they're sitting there telling us we're just another Iowan like you.
Everyday Iowans, just
Yeah.
like you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every day
Buddy,
Iowans my ass.
Zach, you're not a farmer. You're just not a farmer. Now, you may have had a family and farm, but you're not a farmer. You worked for Americans for Prosperity. You worked for several fucking campaigns over the years, and you worked for the Koch brothers. Your resume shows that. You have never been a fucking farmer. And not only that, lately he's pushing himself as a sustainable farmer. And now we're going all the way back into that environmentalist shit where he's trying to pretend he's some kind of eco-friendly, whatever, in order to get that vote. It's all a con. Lawn. It's all a lawn.
Oh,
Lon McCon.
oh, and the other thing about his farmland and his claim of being a 6th generation farmer.
Mhm.
So, that land that he bought,
That lawn.
yeah,
Yeah, that lawn. Yes, correct. Yes. Sorry.
you don't buy the land if you inherit it,
Right.
which means that it was sold out of the family at one point, which it had apparently been sold out in the 70s. It had been out of the family for at least a solid generation.
Yep. Yeah.
So he didn't really come back to the family farm. He bought the family farm back.
Right. Okay, so I got another one for you. Ready? Got to get back to the internet again. I know I'm throwing you. Sorry, man. You're muted. Yeah.
I'm probably good. I'm
Back
munching
to the
on
internet.
combos over here.
And you're going to go to joemitchell.com. It's a fun one. It's my favorite one.
I love it. I love this.
This
This
is
should
sort of
be a
like-
regular thing for us.
Seriously, just calling out the bullshit as they're doing it. Go to joemitchell.com. Now, before you even get there, I just want to point out, I'm pretty sure Joe's not married, nor does he have kids. I could not find a record of it. I've never seen anything about him having kids. Now, if I'm wrong,
I'm getting a security verification here.
you better do that. I
Not a
could be absolutely wrong that he does not have kids. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't have kids. And also, if you have a family of kids, you probably mention it in your profile. He does not mention it on his website.
I just get a donor thing.
We'll get rid of that part.
How do I get rid of this?
You have to skip. Did you go to joemitchell.com?
I did. Browser joemitchell.com.
Yeah. So you can't close that?
You have to donate to see the rest of the page.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I
Good.
don't know if that's true.
I had that pop up and then I got rid of it. Go to joemitchell.com/about. We're going to get there, guys. I promise you. I should have warned Kellen about this ahead of time, which I did not. There it is right there, right? So there is our good friend Joe.
Who's that kid?
Not his kid. I'm pretty sure that it's not his kid.
Is
And
that?
if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't know you had a kid. This is new to me. I didn't know you got married. I didn't know you had a girlfriend, boyfriend, nothing. I didn't know any of that. But I don't know who his kid is.
I'm human.
pretty sure it's not yours.
Give me child.
Also-
I'm
Give
human.
me child.
Are you not going to mention that you're a father in this? I don't see that in any of your profile. But will you read the very first line there, Kellen, for me?
Sorry, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page for his
Oh, no. Read this one
personal
first.
life, and he does not have
No
children.
family.
No
Yeah,
family.
thank you. So he's showing like, it's probably a cousin.
Whose
nephew.
kid is that?
Nephew, maybe. He loves kids, maybe. Now read the first line on the website.
Born and raised in a small town just south of Cedar Rapids. Just south. We're an hour.
Hey, can you pull up a Google map?
Just south.
Can you pull up a
Here.
Google map?
We're like four
No,
counties
no,
down.
no. I will tell you precisely how far
It's
it is.
Wayland, Iowa, people.
from
Look it up
Wayland
on
to
Google.
Cedar Rapids.
Wayland,
oh my
Iowa.
God.
Can you do a maps thing
Yeah, I'm
online
in
in real
map,
time?
Map directions.
Cedar
Yeah.
Rapids to Wayland, Iowa. Just south.
It's like an hour plus, man.
I mean,
1 hour and 7 minutes. It's
Yeah.
65.7 miles.
yeah, and on any map, it's not just, unless you're looking at the whole country, it's not just south of Cedar Rapids. And he put that in there
But Cedar
because
Rapids is in his district.
that's why he put it in there. That's where the majority of his voters are.
Fucking Waterloo is closer to Cedar Rapids than Wayland
Yeah.
is, I think.
No kidding. He's like, I might live in Shoeyville based on what I told you, or Solon, just south of Cedar Rapids. But no, he lives in he grew up in Wayland, Iowa, which is down in Henry County, right next. It's part of Mount Pleasant County, Henry County,
Yeah.
where we're at.
15 miles from here.
Yeah. Like he represented our district, and we're the three rural white guys. We're not suburb of Cedar Rapids or even more close to Cedar Rapids. There it is. You see it? There, yeah. That's where
You got to drive through 3 counties to get there.
Yeah. And through a whole other metro area in
Lynn,
Iowa City.
Johnson, Washington, Henry.
In the Henry. Yeah. It's just misleading shit after misleading shit, trying to pretend
And
he's somebody he's not.
Cedar Rapids is like the southern point of his district.
Yeah.
Like
I grew
Iowa
up,
City is not in Iowa too.
I
It's
grew
in
up just
our
northwest of Cedar Rapids or of St. Louis.
district. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Me too. We're live just northwest of St.
Just
Louis on Three Rural White
Just
Guys.
southwest of Chicago.
Yeah. We're only a slight jog to the east of Denver, Colorado, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
this is
we're
the shit they do.
it's a hop skipping away from the Dakotas.
We are. It's
Mhm.
only a 14-hour drive.
That's
to
it.
get to
That's
the
all it
Badlands.
is.
I mean, it's not too bad.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little
You
jaunt.
can get there in a day.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like 10 hours to the Badlands.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty
It's not
far.
bad. I mean, but that's really our theme here today. Like everything Trump touches turns into shit. And the reason it turns into shit because he's always lying about what he's doing. Nothing's actually real. He's just faking it. Nonstop faking
Whose
it.
kid is this?
I'm guessing it's his nephew. I'm not going to criticize him too much for being a good uncle. I don't know if he has siblings.
But like,
But it is weird.
deceiving. It's
It-
weird.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
kind of
100%.
strange.
Yeah. He's trying to give an impression that he lived near Cedar Rapids within the district
And that
and that he
he
has a family.
yeah, and he has a family.
It's clear that's what he's doing. Yeah. So let's want to go into more of it. There's also pieces like as a developer
fun, Mike.
focused
What else
on
you got?
workforce housing, Joe provides working class Iowans critical access to housing through his projects in rural Iowa. Yes, he does. He actually built
Whose kids are
Okay,
these?
okay. Wait, no. I want to touch on that.
Let's go. That's why
I want to touch on that.
He builds housing in rural communities.
So some of the units that he built
are here in Mount Pleasant because that's where he.
Well, there's quite a few of
This
them,
area.
and there's several of them are literally a block from where I live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I was looking for a house to rent, I had been pointed in that direction because he had some units he couldn't sell. They are 2-bedroom condos. They're like 1,000 square feet.
You over there by the pool? Kind of.
Yeah,
From the pool.
Yeah, but
On Marion.
north of Washington. Yeah.
$1,500 a month.
Yep.
And they were selling for like $275.
In
What?
Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
$275K
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a
That's not
two-bedroom
working class housing, people.
for a 2-bedroom condo
2-bedroom condo.
in Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
Yeah.
My house wasn't that expensive, and it's like a 5-bedroom, 2-story single family home with decent amount of
Right.
land.
Right. That's why I pointed that out is what working class people are buying these.
Right. Now, mind you, also, he took a homestead tax credit for Mount Pleasant, living in Mount Pleasant just last year. Even I think maybe earlier this year as part of his taxes for Mount Pleasant. So he's saying he's living in Mount Pleasant while he's telling everyone else he's saying he's living in Clear Lake while he's telling everybody else he's filing taxes saying
He's telling the government he's living in
in Mount Pleasant. Exactly. As his primary home. That's what your homestead tax credit's for. So like the guy is just openly lying, doing whatever he can to get elected. And we saw it firsthand. And one of my favorite stories about the guy, and Joe's a nice guy to me. He hasn't been an asshole to me. So I'm not trying to be an ass, but the shit he's saying about all kinds of communities and how he's politicking.
Math ain't mathin', Mike.
Shit, it ain't mathin', right? Period. The other story I have about Joe is he calls me up last year, 2 years ago, when we had our big wind turbine debate in Henry County.
Windmill.
Windmill.
They're killing the whales.
Killing the whales. The eagles are dying. And there was this big history there. We talked about it a little bit in a previous episode. We have a bunch of people who didn't want to see wind turbines in northern Henry County. It's a debate you see everywhere, but all the facts and stuff about why they shouldn't have the wind turbines were just complete bullshit. And it's really a matter of what landowner rights versus should I have to look at a windmill and distance kind of thing, right? Instead of like, they're just going to mess with my heart monitor and shit like that. So that's all going. But who does Joe represent during that time?
These kids right here. So
he represents the wind turbine company.
I think he's at a grad party. So I'm going to guess. Does that say?
It says dad though.
No, it says that's
grad?
That's an R. That's an R. He
could be a grad party.
He's at a grad party. But I didn't know this about him. He was regional director at the U.S. Department of Housing at HUD during the Trump administration, and then he was chief of staff at the federal housing at Fannie. That's not Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, but Federal Housing Finance Agency. After running for office at just 20 and being sworn into the Iowa House of Reps at 21, he was the youngest state legislator in Iowa history, which to me just says he's a career politician.
100%. Yeah,
right.
That's all he's ever done, really.
Right. That's all he's ever done is just run for office. But in running for office, he puts Iowans first by lowering taxes, cutting red tape, fighting for families, farmers, and small businesses.
Yeah, he made the vote to close Salem Elementary here in Henry County.
Yeah, he was
the big vote in that when they got rid of progressive taxes.
He's part of that group of Republicans in the state house that refuse to fully fund schools and cause things like that to happen.
But for 1 year, he represented as a consultant. REW, is that what they were called?
Too many young people are unable to buy a home.
Kellen, let me finish this comment. You keep interrupting me. He works for REW. Is that what they were called? What was that?
RWE?
RWE.
Yeah, RWE.
He worked as a consultant on behalf of RWE, who's trying to install wind turbines, right? And he calls me up and says, as the former chair of the Democratic Party, will you go to this county supervisor meeting and talk on behalf of Democrats on why we want wind turbines in northern Henry County? And I said, Joe, your fucking president is saying that it's killing the eagles.
Oh, this guy right here.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, those best friends there.
That guy.
Your buddy that you work for, that you cherish and worship and honor and talk about all the fucking time how close you are to him. He's the one that's giving the talking points to the guys that are against the people that you're openly lobbying for right now. And now you want me to come in and save your ass because you think it's a good idea to have wind turbines in northern Henry County? Like, you're a fucking hypocrite. You'll do anything you want for money and completely avoid any kind of accountability for who you associate with. It's complete bullshit.
Wasn't there a song in 1985 about money? No,
That was actually about the working man, though, Kellen.
That's true.
Yeah, but wasn't I thought it was like.
Well,
what was
they
the
wanted
lyrics
they
to that
wanted the
song?
easy
Now
way
I gotta
out.
look up
They
those.
wanted the
Money
easy
for
way out.
nothing.
They
Money
wanted
for nothing.
But
Chicks
it's working. It's literally a story about a guy watching an MTV music video and pointing out the fact that rock stars don't do anything for they're getting paid for nothing.
Yeah,
Money for
and
nothing.
chicks for free.
And they get the chicks for free.
Yeah. So that's what that Joe wants to be a rock star. Basically, is what I'm hearing. Is he doesn't want to actually.
And they
work
got
for
jet
anything.
airplanes and millionaires.
He just goes around, lies to
Billionaires.
people,
Billionaires.
pretends he's somebody he's not, and that is yet another example.
So, all right.
But I just
Whoa, before you move off of that, I just got to point this out. This is just part of the grift. Tell me that they didn't alter that image of Trump.
no, look at him.
Oh my God,
They
His
did
neck
that.
sack is missing.
They're kissing his ass
neck sack is missing.
by making him look better because he probably looked like shit in that picture.
Or it's like a 10-year-old picture, but why would he be taking a picture with a random no-name state rep from Iowa 10 years ago? Like
Well,
back
'cause
then,
he did speak at CPAC.
but that was not 10 years ago. When did he speak at CPAC? When was this picture taken?
Well, look at the CPAC picture.
This
Go back
one.
up. Yeah.
That one.
Not recently. Joe's gained a little bit since then. His
think
hair.
so?
Yeah. Well, look at his most recent pictures. Yeah.
Slick back.
He had the slick back look going on.
Slick
Eventually,
back.
that's what you do eventually.
It was probably about 26. I'll bet it was 2016, probably when he got elected or when he
Could
was
be.
running because he
Could
was so young.
Well, he thinks that not enough Iowans can afford to buy a home.
Well, he's not wrong,
It's not
but he's
wrong.
not helping that fucking
But he's
problem.
sure
any.
as shit not doing anything about it. 2-bedroom condos for $275 in Mount Pleasant.
They might have been 225, but regardless, like that's
two-bedroom condo in Mount Pleasant.
Over 200,000 is a mess. Like
Over
what?
$200K. You better have 5 bedrooms and like a decent size home in Mount Pleasant if you're selling it for more than $200K.
correct. And actually, I'm finding out that you could build a fairly modest, like 4-bedroom house for that.
Brand new.
I wonder if these are his. I'm looking up the Clear Lake ones he just built randomly in Clear Lake, Iowa. It happens to be barely into the 2nd district. I'm trying to see if he actually has built those ones yet.
Well, this is a fun game you've set
It is
up on
fun.
here, Mike.
You like
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Well, do you know where he got his money to do this in the first place?
Donald Trump.
No.
Oh, damn.
This is a whole nother thing that I don't want to go down too far, but like it's all from Daddy. His dad
Mm.
invented and patented a clubfoot brace.
Oh, that's right. The guy in Wayland. Yeah, because that's where he was born, just south of Cedar Rapids.
MD Orthopedics.
Yeah, MD Orthopedics. And don't get me wrong, in the public, they do some really good stuff.
Yeah,
They actually do a lot of good work internationally. A lot of kids who could never afford to get any kind of brace for their club feet, they get it to them.
Well, the University of Iowa was University of Iowa Hospital had the leading. I think he's dead now.
Is he? Yeah.
Ponseti.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
He is. And when I was born, I had a club foot and I had the Ponseti
Did you really?
treatment on my foot.
So yeah, you're a part of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sell across the country too. Don't get me wrong. They're not just internationally.
Carrie from Mount Pleasant is very happy that we just had that segue.
I love it. Did she tell you that?
No, but I
Oh.
know that she's very happy we just mentioned
That's awesome.
Ponseti and clubfoot. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm not criticizing the company. They're actually a really good company. From what I can tell, I've been there. They seem to do some really good work. But that's where he got the money to run for office.
Yeah.
He didn't earn this stuff. You don't get money just to build a new housing complex.
Well, you don't
You
become
have
a
to have-
career politician at 20
Yeah.
without dad's money.
So, yeah, it's yet another example of I have a lot of money. I'm going to run for office because I can, having not put any work whatsoever into actually understanding what life is like as a normal Iowan.
Right.
Well, I think the thing about it is when we talk about career politicians and we talk about the need for term limits because we have, well, I mean, we've got GOP legislators that are having seances with Mitch McConnell, apparently.
I talked to him for 20 minutes yesterday.
Did any of them say, I'm not a witch?
But I mean, I think there has to be a happy medium when you're picking your representative. Like, you need somebody that has some life experience,
Yeah.
right?
You would think.
I mean, you don't want the octogenarian, but you also don't want the a kid
Right.
that doesn't have a fully developed brain yet.
Quite literally, the brain doesn't finish fully developing until your mid-20s.
Right.
He's running against a woman named Lindsay James,
Yep.
who was in the minority for quite a few years as a state house representative member from Dubuque, a pastor, I might add. It was one of the most well-spoken person I've heard give a speech. She's incredible, but she's also like an eternally happy person. She's always smiling, always going up and talking to people, hugging kids, joking with people. Incredibly smart, just a bullwhip in terms of just knows her shit really, really well. Knows her politics, knows her communities really well. But she is a very happy person, and you never see her without a smile on her face, right?
His Joe's Wikipedia page says he's a Clear Lake native.
Native?
Yeah.
No.
It says he's a Clear Lake native. That's
It
on his
really does say
Wikipedia
that.
page. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, you're doing your little thing.
But he's from a small town south of Cedar Rapids.
It's not where
And
Clear Lake is.
is not. That's like up near Mason City, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sarah Gordo County.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
right on the edge of there. But Joe posted a picture the other day of Lindsay James, and she's just smiling. She's really happy. Something excited her, and they got her in a weird shot where she's like this. She looks like this in the camera. She's like that, and it just looks like she's happy. But he posts her and says, "The hysterical Lindsay James believes this, and this," and makes her look like some hysterical picture, which is like, that's like old school sexism, guys. That's like way out there where you didn't agree with a woman, you call it hysterical.
Quaaludes.
Right?
That's why they have Quaaludes.
That's why they went after Abraham Lincoln's wife. We know that the Harlan Lincoln house is right here next door. They sent her to a mental hospital because she actually stood up for herself.
I'm gonna send you to a mental hospital.
I know. But that's the kind of shit he's engaged in.
They say Clear Lake native because his business, his real estate company that sells 2-bedroom condos for $275 is based and headquartered in Clear Lake.
What's it called?
I don't know. Joe Mitchell Co. I don't know.
I'm trying to find it out to see how long ago he built it.
Well, yeah, I've learned a lot about Joe Mitchell in the last 20 minutes,
Yeah.
Mike.
We've dove in deep. We have some people in our comments diving into it a little bit too.
And yes, Carrie from Mount Pleasant did like your.
Did she?
She did like that we brought up Clubfoot.
I gotta pay attention to the board. Carrie from Mount Pleasant.
Carrie evidently had cast on her feet too from Mount Pleasant.
How are you guys seeing this? Is this in
We're
our
reading in the
comments?
comment section of the?
Oh, I need to pay more attention to the comments. It's hard too.
So Jessica asked how far the bus ride is for Salem kids now with the closing. Well, next year when they're closing into this upcoming year.
After this next coming year, right?
Right. And right now they actually get on the bus, they drive into town, they make bus switches everywhere, and then they drive back to Salem Elementary in many cases. So it's like double the time it should take to get to school, just because of how the bus routes are and how they have to do bus switches and shit and get people there. So actually there'll just be a bus right into town.
Right.
So it's 10 minutes kind of thing in most cases, sometimes 15 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it sucks.
Yeah.
We're not saying they should have closed Salem. We're saying it sucks they had to because Jeff Shipley and Joe Mitchell slashed taxes so much that you can't keep the damn school open.
Yeah, they don't want to fund schools.
Yeah. That's just that. Welcome to your vote.
Yep. All
How
right.
we doing?
Well,
we there?
We've been talking for almost an hour and a half.
Have we really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like I got like an hour and 10 of that. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's all good. I just before we go, Mike, can you tell me what is the word that we use to describe somebody who's currently sitting in office and running for re-election?
Sitting in office and running for re-election, or if they are sitting in office and decorating the White House.
Both.
Either way.
Both. What do you call them?
An incumbent.
An incumbent.
Yes, there you go.
Incumbent.
I'm gonna get you there.
Gonna leave it there. It's been episode 3, Rural White guys. Thank you for listening.
It has been.
We will see you. See you tomorrow. No, next week sometime.
Next week, not tomorrow.
I don't
Hey, we can go tomorrow.
We want to go
I
tomorrow. We go tomorrow, but yeah.
see what other shit he puts on the ground.
That horse was down here fighting wars. They give to the rich and take from the poor. Makes you wonder what we're working for.